Okay, we should be live. Welcome to the stream, Twitch. Welcome to the stream. Where's YouTube? YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Kick. Welcome to the stream, Kick, and Facebook. I gotta hit that go live button. And any minute now, I will be live on Facebook. This is the Sam Crescent Art Stream. And we are live on Facebook. Welcome, everybody, to the Sam Crescent Art Stream. I am Sam Crescent. And let's get into it. I am an illustrator, an artist, work on comic books, drawing, things of that nature. And I'm going to get going right away. A little bit late getting the stream up this morning, but that's okay. We're still making it happen. I go live every single day. Been working on my comic book Strength Monsters. I'm warming up right now with some studies from George Bridgman from his book of 100 Hands. And let's get those going. Boy, I've got to get the juices flowing today. Brain's a little bit slow. And we'll see what we can make happen. All right, let's see here. Shape there, shape. All right, so we're drawing right now. Quick study to warm up from George Bridgman's book of 100 Hands. I've been drawing this book every day for a while now. I will complete it, see what I can take from it, what can be learned. So far, it's been pretty helpful. I do various drawing studies every single day like this because I constantly need to be putting new things in my mind, constantly trying to improve the skill and craft that is foundational to painting, to illustrating, to so many other things, which is drawing. So you need to work. I specifically, not you, but unless you are an artist, then I would recommend you work your drawing daily. Exercise with it. Get the drawing in every day. Look at something, draw it. Think of something in your mind, draw it. But you want to draw constantly. Now, it is today. What are we on? Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Going at it. I, this week, am headed out to Phoenix Fan Fusion in wonderful Phoenix, Arizona. This week, I actually leave tomorrow for load in. This is a big convention. It's a lot of work, but it is very enjoyable, very profitable. A lot of really good shoppers, customers, and everything in the Phoenix area. Very much enjoy being there. This will be my third time at the show. First time, though, that I will be tabling in Artist Alley, which will be nice. That should help me immensely increase my revenue, as overhead will be down dramatically, and I actually should be a better location for me. In the past, I'm put in just random location by people selling toys. Last year, I was across from a Lego minifig guy. I was next to a toy guy, and I'm selling original art. I'm selling my comic books. I'm selling my prints. I'm selling my t-shirts, my screen printed shirts. I'm selling my screen printed stickers, all these things that have nothing to do with collectible toys. They have nothing to do with Legos. Across from me was a booty shorts guy, and then on the other side of me was a weapons guy last year. I feel that being in an area where I'm more adjacent to other artists, that should help. It should, that placement should make a difference for me. I think it will. And I'm looking forward to finding out. I'll be able to bring a full report when I get back, which will be next week. The stream will be paused. I will do one tomorrow before I head out of town. I'll get one in. And then after that, the stream will be paused for until next week. I won't be able to keep it running while I'm on the road. I don't have the setup right now for that to keep it going. Eventually, I will. Working on it as I build this out, but one step at a time. The show is still relatively young. I've been streaming now for not that long. Not even 2 months, but I have been hitting the streams every day. So I've already accumulated a lot of streaming hours because of the frequency that I've been doing these at with. The way I see it, I'm working on my comics every day. I'm working on my art every day. I'm doing drawing studies every single day, breaking things down. I've been doing this for years. And figured, why not start doing it live? Why not start doing it on a stream? There might be other people interested in what I'm making. I might be able to find more fans of my artwork. I might be able to find more people interested in the same things that I am. Who knows? Who knows what will come of it? But so far, it's been going well, and I plan to continue the process rather than just drawing alone in my studio. I'm going to take that whole process public, going to broadcast it, going to get more content online, get more of my art online, seen by everybody. That's the plan. That is the ultimate goal with the live streams. Now, I'm going to talk about what I'm working on right here, which is George Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands. George Bridgman was an artist. I believe he taught in New York. I forget where, and I don't really care. For a number of years, he taught many famous illustrators from back in the day. And he authored several books. One of them was, Constructive Anatomy. One of them is a book on life drawing. One of them is this Book of 100 Hands. And the purpose, well, the reason why Bridgman is so popular is because he had a very interesting way of breaking down the forms of the human figure, of wedging the shapes together and designing the anatomy. And I very much like it. That's why I'm studying it. I don't like Hogarth. I don't like, I'm trying to think, like, what other anatomy books do people study out there? There's several more contemporary ones, modern ones. I don't like them. I like Bridgman better. It's a little more scientific, and his people look more like what kind of people look like. Hogarth's drawings, people don't look like Hogarth, what Hogarth draws. They don't look like that, period. That's why I don't look at Hogarth. Why I don't care about him. I feel like there's better artists that can be studied. So, I want to study those ones. In this book, the Book of 100 Hands, most of Bridgman's work, or I would say probably all of Bridgman's work, it is in the public domain at this point. It's old. There is a few companies that publish his book, but it is public domain work. So you can get his books, you can download them for free. You can go to the Internet Archive, find them all there, and study from them yourself if you so desired. Now, I have made it to the portion of this book. The way the Book of 100 Hands is organized is first section is all the back of the hand, and the next section is the palm side, palmar view of the hand. And that's what we're working here, and this is just an anatomical breakdown of the hand. And let's see what is going on here. And that's pretty much it. Now, right now, today, the S&P 500 is hitting all-time highs. And I would not be comfortable with that. I am not a holder of the S&P 500, realizing that the S&P 500 of today is nothing like the S&P 500 that your parents invested in, that your aunts invested in, that your uncles invested in years ago. It's a completely different index now. It's over 39% of it, of its value, of its weight of its value is driven from tech and tech stocks. It's become consolidated to 7 major stocks that predominantly drive the price of the entire index. It's just not the same. It's not the same financial tool. It's not the same financial instrument that it was all those years ago. It just popped in my head because I just got another alert about the price of the S&P 500, and while I don't buy it or own it or ever plan to, I still track it. All right. So, people have to understand the reason, the S&P 500 is supposed to be the 500 largest, strongest companies in America, but we've reached a state of so much, really, we have almost like monopolies now with Amazon, especially Google, all of the Mag 7s, that their value makes up most of the S&P 500. So it's no longer an index that is evenly weighted across a whole number of stocks. It is heavily skewed now towards tech, heavily skewed towards these companies that have been building data centers, that have been spending money on building out data centers and on chip manufacturing and all these things that are going on that have nothing to do with the regular economy that you and I experience. That's what's driven up the value so high recently. And it will not, and I'm just calling it now, and in 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, whatever long it takes, I can pull this video up as proof that I called it, but it will not sustain. This will eventually come back to reality, and there will be a reconciliation. There will be a huge drawdown. You'll see massive capitulation, and you'll see people that had entire fortunes that could have retired them completely wiped out overnight. It will happen, and it's just a matter of time. There's no way to know when. It could be years from now, and you could say, well, you don't really know then. No, I don't. It's nobody can know exactly when. The madness that's happening right now in these markets, it can continue on for decades still before reality has to come, before these big companies. I mean, the reality is most of the big companies that have this huge spend on all the this is the thumb. I'll keep talking about this financial stuff in a minute, but these are the various muscles of the thumb bifurcated, and then this is Bridgman's drawing of the palm of the hand, and you can see how he's delineating or indicating these various muscles in the palm, and that's something that I never really thought about much, but it's there. Is you can draw the palm of the hand, and you want to make it look, a little bit more realistic or muscular. You can kind of draw in the various muscular structure of the palm. That's pretty cool. Now, a couple more schematical drawings here that I'll do. He has them labeled as well, so you could go and get the names of each of these. I keep forgetting them. But there's a few that you kind of want to have an idea about. I'm just looking at them right now. But anyway, let's continue. So we've got another view of the palm here. That's pretty interesting here. The thumb. Just gonna get a road. I'm just gonna get a trajectory basically of where the drawing is. And that's pretty decent there. Now let's just kind of lock in onto some of these shapes, and you'll notice that I'll kind of ignore some of the lines I put down. Maybe I won't keep them. Most of the lines I can first put down are lines that I don't intend to keep. I just intend to ignore. And I've drawn that way pretty much my whole life. There's other people that they try to put down lines that they want to keep right from the get-go. I find that if I get really careful like that, really cautious about it, then if I get really cautious about it, the quality of my drawing diminishes because I start overthinking things. When I let my mind relax more and trust my intuition and just get something scribbled out on the page, I end up usually with a better illustration. That's the pad of the thumb there. Locks in kind of here and here. This kind of locks in over here a little bit more. Kind of a wedge shape there. All right. That's pretty decent. Decent enough. But again, you can see him. There's that one, and that one. It kind of has that bifurcated into those 3 sections. But he's just barely kind of hinting at it. You know, on the pinky side, the palm here, and these are just muscles basically that move the fingers. Let me see here. 6 is abductor digiti minimi. Right here. That is this whole muscle here. There was something I came across the other day. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, yes. I was thinking about, saw somebody do this, and I was guilty of it myself. One of the things that you've seen with AI is you can now write a business plan very quickly with it. You know, it knows the structure of a business plan, and you can literally dictate to it the business, what it does, you know, the strategy, your marketing ideas, all of it, and it can fill in all the sections for you and get the thing, you know, a basic scaffolding of a business plan written out pretty fast. In the past, that would be writing a business plan was pretty involved. You could literally spend, I know people that have spent 6 months writing business plans, which in a way that's kind of ludicrous. And I'll explain that. There's another plan called the strategic plan. It's slightly different than a business plan, but there is a lot of overlap. And the strategic plan, in my opinion, it's got more kind of market analysis as far as competitors. And other than that, I would have to look up like what the main differences are, because I've written one. I had a book on it, and I went through the entire book and wrote each section of it for my business. And then once and I did all this pre AI. I wrote a business plan once for 2 businesses. I've written 2 business plans for 2 different businesses. Were very extensive plans. One of them was a college class I took. So we spent an entire semester, which is like 3 months, writing one business plan. But you wonder, how helpful are these documents really? How helpful are they really? And I would say not much. Not much help. They give you a feeling. They give you a feeling of accomplishment, that you've actually done something, of control, of achievement. But the reality is, you really haven't achieved anything. You've got something written down on a piece of paper at the end of the day, and that's it. You still have not made a business. You've not taken anything to market. You've not manufactured anything. You've not provided any service. You have literally done nothing. And that's the biggest problem with these plans. And the reality is, it's very difficult to foresee everything that's going to be able to come into play, every problem that you're going to have to solve, and everything you're going to have to deal with in one of these plans. It just isn't. I've got a strategic plan that I wrote for my art business years ago. It's in a huge binder. It's got sections and chapters. I rarely look at it or use it. I found it to be minimally useful at best. And the reason why is because honestly, the thing that's going to help your business the most is actually doing real work in your business. So, or on your business, depending on what it is. If you have a laundromat, you can write your plans about laundromats and research other laundromats all day. But until you actually start to try to execute on something, you just don't know anything as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I see. What the heck? Got this wrong. And I do think it gives people a false sense of they're better prepared for success because they've got a business plan or a strategic plan or a bunch of documents they wrote. When in reality, I've seen so many people just procrastinate actually making their business, actually doing something for years because they're just writing plan after plan after plan. And at some point, it just becomes a giant jerk off because you're not actually doing anything. You know, if you're going to run a laundromat business, you're going to need to learn how washing machines work. You're going to need to learn how to maintain them. You're going to need to find people that you can hire to help you maintain those machines or repair them. You're going to need to start figuring out the real estate behind it, if you're going to lease it, if you're going to rent it, and you got to start doing it. It's like, I know people, they're like, oh, I'm going to publish my comic book. And then they're like, okay, well, let's go. Get it out. You're going to do it? Oh, I got to figure out, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to store the comics. So then they don't make anything because they're spending all this time. Oh, it looks like my voice chat's not going. Oh, the sound's turned off. All right. What time is it anyway? What's happening, Scott? I missed your comment. I was just rambling. I'm just rambling right now because that's pretty much what I do. I'm going to get on this comic book here. I did enough warming up. I probably need to construct a better argument and thesis about the business plan and the uselessness of it. But it is minimally helpful. Minimally. Now, what I got going on here is I took the background from the other page because they're still in the same environment, copy and pasted it down here. Now we have, and I need to fill it out in the rest of the way. The reason I did that in recycling this is because it doesn't make sense to draw this from scratch. Then it won't match up the same. And we've moved in, I've zoomed in a little closer to the scene. Which I think is the case. So we have this guy up on the wall. And gotta do here is just fill out these rocks. I'm just kind of trying to decide if I should be recycling this background or if I should just create a whole new one. Doesn't really make sense though. It's literally like the same shot. We're just looking at the rock wall that's on the prior page, which is right here. We got the rock wall, and we're just going to see more of it because he's up higher. This has moved down. These guys are, they're essentially in the same place, and they're going to walk away. I mean, here it looked like they're going to walk away right there. Maybe I need to change the location of these guys. It's fine. I think I'm overthinking it and being a little too, sometimes being a little too anal retentive about exactly what's going on. So let me see what this rock wall is doing. It's going here. And we'll do that. Let's see where this guy is. What was he? P1? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so got this dude up here. And he's up further on these rocks. Sometimes the best way to design these rocks is just kind of think about, I'm just making this up. I don't have a rock structure to look at right now, but I've looked at enough of them. I have a pretty good idea about what I want to get from it. Just think about the shadows of the rocks. Try not to repeat your same shapes too much. I'm just going to drop those in. So a lot of this we're just setting up the, I guess it's the epilogue or the prologue, not the prologue. I think it's epilogue is what happens after. Or is it the prologue and the epilogue comes before? I don't remember all this stuff. Something like that. Yesterday, I got more shirts printed. I finally got the printing press scheduled to come. So I have a new press on the way. Because I'm a screen printer. I print t-shirts predominantly. I do also some flat stock printing, which is like printing on paper. But I specifically have a new press coming for my t-shirts printing. Should make it much easier, more efficient. But the press was shipped and arrived in the San Diego terminal last Friday. And I was never informed by anyone that you have to schedule an appointment once it arrives at the local terminal. You have to schedule an appointment to have it delivered. They're not going to just deliver it. So I found that out because I'm calling them, asking them the situation, the status of the press, because it didn't come. They informed me, we need to schedule an appointment. They're going to have somebody call me. Nobody did. They said, we'll have the whatever people call you to schedule. Never did. So I called back again yesterday, told them nobody called me. And so then they put me right through to the terminal directly where it's at. And I talked to the person there, and then they scheduled it for today. So between 12 noon and 6 p.m. Is when the press could come, which is a huge window for delivery, but we'll see. Hopefully it shows up. I did inform her that I will be out of town Thursday through and Friday, so I cannot take delivery at that point. We'll find out. I also have these business cards that I had made that have my stream information on them that I was going to pass out to people at the convention this weekend. Well, I made these cards, and it says "Watch me work," and it's got like the QR to all the different streaming platforms that I'm on. Well, I sent that to the printer 7 days ago, and I sent it to the mom and pop shop down the street from me because they print a lot of my art prints that I then turn into glow-in-the-dark prints by screen printing over them. And they usually do a pretty good job, and they're okay. So I just sent it to them, giving them the work, thinking that they would just plenty of time turn it around. Well, nothing's been done, so I contacted them yesterday. I'm like, hey, I sent this 7 days ago. It'd be really helpful if I could have these by tomorrow. I'm going out of town. These guys are like, oh, we'll do our best. We'll see what we can do. Shouldn't be a problem. And I'm going, I could have sent this to Staples, and they would have had it done the next day. Literally. And it probably been cheaper too. So going forward, I'm not helping anybody out anymore. I don't care if you're a mom and pop shop or whatever. I'm looking out for number one now. And because people would just let me down so much on all these other businesses, let you down so much that you just got to go with who's going to deliver the goods, and that's it. So I probably won't even have my streaming cards this weekend unless that print shop gets their stuff in gear, and then they're like, oh yeah, we have them, you can pick them up. In which case, I'll have to send my son to pick them up because I won't be able to because I have to be here to take delivery of the press, which I have no idea when that's going to come or get here. Hopefully it gets here right away, and then that's one headache that's out of the way. But you never know. Once I finish this page, my focus has to go on getting this Mech Gorilla done, because I'm going to need a very strong reference for it, as it's a highly complex character that I created. So here's his full background. Now we just need to complete out all this stuff. Let's save the work. Should be moving through this page pretty fast today. There's not as much to draw. On the wrong layer. I'm just undoing all this because I just drew all that on the wrong layer. Let's get back to where we're supposed to be here. I don't even remember what I did. But to finish this out. We've got a bunch of foliage here that I've got to drop into the scene. It's not too bad. Should be fine. It's pretty cool. So let's see, to get the rest of these bushes in, let's just kind of rough them through. And we've got some more bushes here. That should pretty much do it. Make this one overlap that one. Oh, this is part of this bush. Okay. Put a shadow under it there. Shadow going there and there. Really not that much. I can just kind of get away with putting some coleslaw in here. And pretty much going to be all that's going to be needed. Just kind of pull some of these shapes out though, so we know what is what. I think that's pretty much it for this background. We've got it dropped in. So that's the scene. Now we've got this one overlaying this is here. So I need to flat in this. Here, and so since this is all one piece, we'll just take this gray, throw it down on these rocks. Also, I realized that I forgot to draw his pipe. So I'm going to draw that as well. Well, let's just fill in the detail here. Make sure we have the whole rock structure dropped in. That's pretty good there. So trying to wrap this page up. May not have it wrapped till tomorrow, but I for sure will have it wrapped this week. All right, so I'll drop in his pipe in a moment. Not going to worry about it yet. No. I think those guys will stay like that. If I go to the... I see. Oh, whatever. I'm going to leave it as that. So let's go through and drop the backgrounds in on these guys. What do we have here? It's going to be like that. And I'm going to put masks on these to contain them inside their squares later. Go for yellow. What is this guy? P. Two. All right, I'm certain that that's moving up on me somehow. So there's that one. And then this here is up here. Part of it's got to be in front, and the other part's got to be behind. So I'll go here. U1, and I'll go P7 rear. Back. Put that in. See here. Um, P6. No, it is P7. This is going to be all right. Let's see if we can make some more sense out of this page. Wrong character. Oops. All right. We got these guys walking off. He's going up. That's all fine. I will go there. All right, let me see here. What we got here? Looking pretty good here. Welcome back, Scott. I'm in the last stages of these 2 pages trying to make sense out of them. This was the one I finished last week. This is the one I'm finishing now. Same environment, same scene. Forgot to put his pipe in there, so I'll have to add that. But I'm kind of thinking I want to change this. They're walking away here. I don't know. It's fine. I know what I want to do. These rocks, I did not like this. I'm going to fix this here. All right, that's better. Now, going back to this one, he's further up the cliff. These guys are down there. I think it's fine. I think, just need to maybe continue this out a little bit. There. Let me see. What else can we do here? Won't need that. Don't like those. What's going on here? Like that. Get some foliage in here. Fill that in with foliage. Extend that road a little bit. Where's that guy? Where does this go?
Maybe you should listen to it. I'm driving, running to school, Sam.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. I'll take it as far as there. I don't think I need to go further. Most of this, you won't see it. It's covered with panels and stuff, but when I do the animated kind of animatic version, I need all this background stuff to be there. But man, I could do I did just more foliage here coming out. Like that. I think that's enough. We just have more stuff there. That would probably work fine. Like the reality is, this would be a valley out here. But it's fine, we can do it this way. This is like a separate panel. But I do need to build this through. So just keep plugging away at this. Ugh. I'm not sure how far I can get on this today. I didn't realize I had so much. I'm just going to start drawing shapes here. Background stuff here. Yeah, I've got to get this kind of jungle thing going. Yeah, let me see here. Some vines going through there, wrapping there. Maybe some rocks down here. That'll take up some space. I just got to get some kind of a roadmap of what I'm going to do here. I know, I'll do some tree branches down here. The root of some trees coming through here and here. Kind of make some rock ledge part there. That'll work. All right, let's get this done. I think I'm just gonna get this coleslaw done in here, and that's all I'm gonna have time to do today. You can't rush this stuff, or it just doesn't work. Oops. Just moving through it. Well, you're not even going to see any of that. I did all that work for nothing. There's a panel over the top of all this anyway, but gonna need it. Just gonna finish up this section, and then I've got to move on, or I will run out of time. And I still got to finish coloring that page with the banana gun and all that stuff. There we go. Now you got some kind of a background in there. Oh, oh man. Just charged through that one. Let's do this. Oops. I'm gonna just do an outline that goes kind of like this. The point of which is to just delineate that this stuff is in front of other stuff. Looking. Yeah, that's about what I want.
Tana says, Saturday we're doing a party like last year, so when you get back we may still be going that night.
That'd be awesome. I'm gonna try to get back early as I can. That stinking convention goes till 7 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, which is really long.
Tana says, we'll have food, for sure.
Awesome. I will for sure just won't worry about getting food then. I'll just come straight back as soon as it's over on Saturday so I can hang out and stuff. And Friday, it's like it starts in like 9 in the morning on Friday too. It's that convention just keeps getting bigger and bigger, it seems. It takes up like multiple floors of that convention center. It's just massive. But it's a good show. I mean, the sales are really good there. But yeah, that was cool last year. I'm looking forward to riding the drift trikes again too. Those are a lot of fun.
Tana says, we have more of those now too.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Oh, it's gonna work fine there. Now, all right, that's gonna actually work there. Let's just get this going here. Okay, now we just need to get this guy's pipe in place. Which would be about like that. That works. All right, that helps. Now I can see what I'm actually drawing. So many lines on top of this, I didn't know what was what. I'm just gonna put this pipe on its own layer completely. All right, that's fixed. I need to make that a color that's not the same as the rocks. No. All right. That's pretty much it for now. Another way to do it is go. I think I well. With that there, then I can keep the illusion of these rocks going up, but we still need that hand. Or if I could do something like this. Massive. Oh, you just drop that in there. Forget how to use the masks in this. Oh, there we go. Weird. I think it's going to be more sense to just move everything up. There. I think that works. Then I can just go. That's what we want. I'm gonna solve that tomorrow. I'll draw these rocks going up. I'll arrange these guys. We're gonna have to move this guy up to here. This guy there. This guy there. Those guys there. That works. All right, let's save this. I'll redo these rocks here and make them coming up still. Then it's like he's really climbing up this cliff better. That's saved. Time to switch over to coloring. Let's get that up and going. Let's see, where is my Photoshop stuff? Almost 9 o'clock. I gotta wrap this up. There's still a lot of other things I've got to get to. But let's switch to all right, so we've got to finish off this piece for the Zombie Command collectible card game. All right. Now, this police car is not in perfect perspective with this building. But I can fix that. But it would require a little bit of work. This is the police station card. Gonna put a color hold on this thing first of all. Darker. I don't know. I think the only progress I'm going to try to make on this piece today is just get the color hold on it. I don't have the mental capacity right now to work through this whole thing. Yesterday was a long day. I ended up printing bunch more shirts, And then I went through and inventoried all the shirts, packed them all up, and then packed everything basically, except for a few things. So that today I won't be under a lot of last minute pressure. So just trying to think ahead. See, I'm going to gradually darken the line art of these bricks as we move up away from the light source here. Darker here. And let's pull that in there. Oh. Ah. On this so it's darker here. It's almost black. Pull it back a little bit. I'm going to make it more red. There we go. That looks cool. Oh, we get up here, it's basically got to be black. This middle section here. But we can lighten it up again up at the pinnacle part. Ugh. Oh, let me see what we got going here. 904. That's kind of cool. Looks a little more realistic. Yeah, let's darken that up a bit. Just go a little bit more. I think that's pretty good for the color hold. Could put a little bit more. There and there. All right, I'm gonna save that there. I'll work on this more tomorrow. I'm gonna drop a second texture on here. I'm gonna see if I can.
Assess. Accessibility man. Check.
Yep, this one's ADA compliant. So, although this thing is gonna be in trouble because it's all beat up, but get this fix the perspective on this police car so it's kind of more with the perspective of the ramp tomorrow. So, gonna move on from there. That one's gonna get carried over till tomorrow. I still gotta work on this, make some more progress on this banana gun page. And
Restat after number 3 says. AID read.
All right, so I'm gonna do color holds on this background. I'm gonna do some texture on those.
Oh yeah, let's get some bots in here.
Yeah, I know those bots, man. Let's get them going, dude. Is one of those bots in here every day? All right, let's see here. Line art. Let's go with let's see what that does. No. Try that. Let's see here. That's pretty good. And let's do that. All right. Get these leafy things done. Ugh. All right, I'll finish off this background here. Not the right color. All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hmm. I'll deal with this one tomorrow. I'll finish it off. This page will be finished tomorrow too. But at least we made some progress here. All right, formatting for print. There's my guide. We did that one yesterday. I'll do this one. Do the same thing. Just gonna pop these characters more before I send this to the printer. All right. What just happened here? Didn't work. All right, now it worked. I'm gonna go with 38. Nah. I just made it 25. That should do it. There we go. They're popping out enough. Still integrated in. Select all. Copy merged. Okay. Resize. I think that's fine. It's gonna be that. That's fine.
Running to school.
I gotta do this one. Oops. All right, I've formatted up to page 23 now. I believe 34 before I can send this one to print. That's done. That is going to do it for today. I'm going to cut the stream. I'll be back tomorrow for the last stream of this week before heading to Arizona. See everybody then.